Let us learn how to subtract two-digit numbers. We're going to look at subtracting without borrowing and then subtracting with borrowing. Let's start off with subtracting without borrowing. The first thing we want to do is arrange the numbers vertically, and then we'll start subtracting from the right going toward the left. We will always subtract the number on the bottom from the number on the top. And so let's see what that means. So we have 67 minus 21. So we're going to write these numbers down. 6, 7, 2, 1. We're subtracting. So we're going to start from this column right here, which is the column on the right. So when we say subtracting the bottom from the top, so that means we have 7 minus 1. So that will give us 6. And then we go over to this column, and then we have 6 minus 2, which gives us 4. So that's how you do that. Next we have 93 minus 50. So what we're going to do here, we start from the right column. So we have 3 minus 0. That should give us 3. And then we move over to the next column. So 9 minus 5. That will give us 4. So that's the answer for that. Let's try a few more examples. We have 9, 8 minus 2, 7. So we start from the right hand side. 8 minus 7. We have 1. And then, actually, we want to write that in red. So we have 1. And then we switch over to this column here. 9 minus 2. We have 7. That is our answer. And then we have 86 minus 45. Starting from the right column, 6 minus 5, we have 1. Then we move over to the next column on the left. 8 minus 4, we have 4. So that is our answer. Next, we will look at subtracting numbers with borrowing. We'll first arrange the numbers vertically, and then we subtract starting from the rightmost column. Now there's a situation here where the number on the top is smaller than the number on the bottom, which we can't really do subtraction easily. So we're going to borrow from the next column on the left, and that number that we borrow from the left becomes a 10, and then we add it to the column on the right, and we do that until all our columns are completed. So let me show you what that means. So we have 83 minus 2, 5. So what we're saying is we're going to start from the column on the right. So we start from here. 3 minus 5. So let me kind of show you what that means, why we say you're not able to do it. So if I have 3 items here, let's call it 1, 2, 3. I want to get 5 out of this. We really cannot do that. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to go over to 8 and say I need to borrow 1 from 8. And so I'm going to take 1 away from 8. So 8 minus 1 is going to give me 7. And then that 1 that I take from 8, I'm going to bring it right here. And so this now changes to 13. So now we have 13 minus 5. That's going to give us 8. And now we switch over to this column here. Now instead of 8, we have 7. So 7 minus 2, we have 5. Let's try again. Let's try another example. So 9, 1, I need to bring this down a bit so that we can have some space at the top. So we have 9, 1, minus 3, 6. So we're going to start from the right column. So 1 minus 6, we can't take 6 numbers, we can't take 6 items out of 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the left hand side and see if we can borrow 1. So we're going to cross this out. 9 minus 1 is going to give us 8. And the number we borrow is going to come here and make this 11. So 11 minus 6, we now have 5. And then we go over to this column. Now we don't have 9 here anymore. We have 8. 8 minus 3, we will have 5. Let's try a few more examples. So we have 70 minus 26. So now we have 0 minus 6. Well, we want to start from the right side first. 0 minus 6. We can't really take 6 numbers when we have nothing. So we're going to go over to the column on the left. We have 7, so we're going to cross out. And we subtract 1 from that is going to give us 6. And then that 1 that we cross out, we're going to add it to the column on the right. So that's going to give us 10. Now we have 10 minus 6, giving us 4. Then we move over to the left column. Now we have 6, so it's going to be 6 minus 2, which is going to give us 4. Now, we have a final example. We have 61 minus 48. So we're going to start from the right column, right here. 1 minus 8, we can't really do it easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to 6 and see if we can borrow 1. So we go over here. We borrow 1, this becomes 5, and then the 1 we added to the column on the right becomes 11. So 11 minus 8, we have 3. And now we go over to this column over here, and that's the column on the left. So we have 5 minus 4, which is going to give us 1. So our answer is 13.